Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim or Cimnanya, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about how Black people talk about anti-Blackness and how always, always say some certain things or show their anti-Blackness. Not just only these other people that most of them also think that they are better than us or they have better advantage than us because of their skin color and all that. But then, with everything that has happened to Black people, anti-Blackness, white supremacists, and all that, because some people were able to deconstruct, some did not deconstruct. Some Black people internalize that colorism, anti-Blackness in their heart that makes them sometimes come out to do some certain things or say some certain things because it is something that they have internalized. Because we've been told right from the onset that being Black is evil or being Black does not equal to beauty. It was a time that if you are dark skinned, you are not beautiful. But how can somebody tell me today that as old as you are or as big as you are, that you don't know what is good from what is bad, knowing how beautiful your skin color is? And then you come on the internet to let people know that lighter skinned people have better advantage than dark skin, and then calling dark skin ugly. Let's get into this video.
So not only do I block problematic white folks, but I block problematic Black folks too. With that being said, this algorithm treats Black people who talk about racism and anti-Blackness and pro-Blackness like a monolith. Like a lot of people, think that if you are pro-Black, it means that you are anti-white, and that's not who I am. If you want to feel anger about the racism that you face as a Black person, feel your feelings. But what you can't do is be weird and violent, on my platform. I won't let you use my platform for that. You have your own platform for that. I don't agree with that methodology. That's not me. It's not who I am. If you want to hate all white people, please go do that someplace else. I have blocked so many of your violent induced comments, and I could see if all that anger was accomplishing something, like building up your neighborhoods, creating jobs, opportunities, and resources for Black people. If it was somehow making shit better, but it's not. In my opinion, it's just another form of extremism that doesn't help anything. It doesn't help solve the problems that Black people face in this nation. You and I are not the same either. You too can raise up off my page because you annoy me. Now, with that being said, imagine following problematic people and then being shocked when they, in fact, start being problematic or do something that's problematic, like say some real anti-Black shit. If nothing else, this latest TikTok scandal, I am glad that it has brought forth a genuine conversation, a real conversation about colorism amongst Black people. Remember that video I did not long ago when I said that white people cannot internalize racism, it's just racism? I entitled that video "It Is What It Is" in case you want to go back and take a look at that. But white people cannot, in fact, internalize racism. Black people and other people of color internalize racism. And ironically enough, one of the examples that I used was colorism. Colorism falls up under the umbrella of white supremacy. It is the ideology or belief that the lighter your skin is, the closer you look to whiteness, the better off you are, the better person you are. The lighter you are, the more you are worth. I can remember one Black person saying to me in the comments that they don't have internalized racism. Yes, you do. If you were born and raised in America, you have experienced some internalized racism. We all have. Racism exists in every corner of the globe, but America has its own unique brand of racism. This country was founded on and built on racism. It's in every state, in every city, in every town. It's everywhere. There's no escaping it. Black people leaning into the belief that being light-skinned makes them somehow better than dark-skinned black people is internalized racism. There's no two ways about that. And I'm going to say this, and you can get mad, but if you are a black person who believes or values lighter skin over darker skin, you do not understand blackness. You don't. If you understood blackness, you would understand its worth. You would understand your worth. You would understand each other's worth. Most of us can't pin down the exact moment where we began to love being black. However, I actually can. My mother didn't have very great parenting moments, but she did this one particular time, and that will live with me forever. I can remember us coming back from my grandmother's house one day and driving down 7 Mile in Detroit, Michigan, and we were headed home. And then just one day, out of the blue, I said, I was a kid, I think I was in elementary school or something like that, and I said, I wish I was light-skinned, Ma. Now, my mother, who is a very, very light-complected black woman, almost stopped dead in the middle of the street. She had to pull over. She was so shocked at the words that were coming out of my mouth. She pulled over, she put the car in park, and she looked at me and she said, why? And I told her, because all the boys in school like light-skinned girls. They don't like dark girls. And she looked at me and she said, your color is beautiful. Your complexion is beautiful. And she said that with an intensity so strong I could feel it. She pulled down the visor and she made me look at myself good and long. And she said some other things, but that's what I remember the most. But I remember looking in that mirror, looking back at myself and thinking, she right. She might be right this time. Black is beautiful. And that in and of itself makes me beautiful. I can pinpoint it to that moment when I began to love being black. I can remember growing up throughout the years having girlfriends who were darker than I was, telling me how they felt about their black skin. And because I had that conversation, that moment with my mother, I was able to have a version of that discussion with them. Because she put that into me, I was able to put it into my lifelong girlfriend of over 40 years when she told me how she felt about being dark-skinned. I was glad that I was able to give her words of affirmation that made her honor and love her skin, the skin that she existed in. As black people, we have been victims of white supremacy, and we have the right to hold people accountable for that. But that's just one layer. You got to pull all those layers back, and you have to examine the ways in which you have participated in white supremacy. You have to hold yourself accountable for that so that you can do the work of deconstruction. It's the only way you're going to walk fully in your blackness. Black came first. It was here first. But a lot of y'all act like y'all don't know that. Black is the mother and the father of all other colors. Y'all act like y'all don't know that either. Y'all let whiteness come along and talk y'all out of that. Y'all let whiteness convince y'all things that were not true about blackness and about being black. If you don't really sit down with yourself and ask yourself about how it is your thinking is problematic when it comes to being black or blackness in and of itself, you won't deconstruct and you will instead become a part of the problem. I can't do anything about y'all loathing yourselves. I can't do anything about y'all thinking that something is wrong with dark skin. I can't do anything about y'all thinking that black is ugly. I can't do anything about y'all letting white people convince y'all that y'all are not worthy because your skin is black. The only thing that I can do is point out the truth. That a lot of y'all are anti-black. And because you won't acknowledge that and you won't do the work, white supremacy will continue to thrive. I heard another TikToker say that if white women decided to break away from the patriarchy, that this shit will be over with tomorrow. And maybe she's right. She probably is. But think about that in terms of this. If black people and other people of color did the work of deconstructing their internalized racism and broke away from white supremacy, it'll definitely be over with tomorrow. I mean, over. But that takes introspection, accountability, and y'all hate that shit. Almost as much as y'all hate dark skin.
So this is all I got from this video. It's still on topic of colorism and how white supremacy was all that made all this colorism and all that very much possible, and how we all started, which is actually truth, right? And it's just really sad that, like, my own community all of a sudden, like, started it. But like, I really do understand where she's coming from, how, like, people internalized colorism and all that, deconstructing and the rest of it. Like she said, black people internalize that, right? And it is really time we can actually do our own job, duty, like, do our own job, because colorism is just something that can eat so deep in a community or in, like, among people, and then leaving you all, like, like a chaff. Because when somebody makes you think, or when you think that being light skinned is all that matters, or being light skinned gets you everything you need, or being light skinned is better and all that, how do you want to raise the younger ones? Because I mean, like, you probably, as you start having children, you definitely will probably have the one that is lighter than the other one, or the one that is darker than the other one. So how do you keep them going, flowing? Because the word alone is just, like, anti-black on their own, or on its own, right? So for me, also hearing somebody say that I am light skinned and I have, like, edge over you, I don't know. I just feel like fainting, because it is coming from my own person. We can't keep suffering something like this from the, and then come to my own community. My own community is also telling me that I am better than you, because, like, my skin color is preferred. Because right from the onset, we were actually meant to understand that if you do not like in your skin, you are not part of the game. You are not where it's going on. You do not belong. Well, how do you belong? There is no need belonging. I love my skin color. I love my skin tone. I want to keep it that way. I have other people also growing that someday they might get bullied because they are probably dark. Or children coming back home to tell you that I don't like my skin color. I am being bullied because of my skin color. What are you going to do? Because you are a bully. You believe that lightening your skin, bleaching your skin, or light skin is far better. What happened to our own natural skin, our melanin? What happened to our, like, I really don't get it, how people wake up to do things like this, adults for that matter. It's sickening, Sometimes we really do blame people that started all this. But what about the ones we are also doing in our own community? Because it will really hurt so bad. It will hurt me so bad that someone that really look like me is coming to tell me that I am lighter than you. So, my life is better. I will have so many questions to ask myself. I will say so many things. I will be mad. So we can actually take responsibility and accountability. We can do better. How do we do better? By deconstructing our mindset, and at the same time being a great tool to the younger generations. I have my niece. My niece's skin is beautiful. And I pray every day that I wish, like I keep saying it, I wish my skin is as beautiful as yours. Their melanin is popping. Their dark skin is glowing. You know what you would say, ebony black. They are so, their skin reflects. I mean, it shines. It's so beautiful. So how do I want to start telling that that baby that even loves her skin the way she is, that she is not beautiful? Or somebody will come, she go to school and somebody will tell her that your skin is not beautiful because you are dark. Are you for real? Have we ever sat down and thought like, what this thing that I am saying, what if my somebody says this to my child in school and she comes back home broken? Hmm, that is really disgusting. We can do better. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.